Hello again. Now let's talk about something that's extremely interesting here and quite a new angle, I'd say. Ramadan is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting. Now we know that the month-long fasting results in a significant change to the individual's diet and health. Check, we also know that. But this poses a potential risk to those with diabetes. And here's where it becomes interesting. Despite the advice from medical practitioners regarding these risks, many Muslim diabetics or diabetes patients continue to fast. To elaborate more on the topic, we are now joined by Dr Lindiwe Pemba. She's the head of medical at Novo Nordisk. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ayanda. Thank you for
Let's begin by assessing just how widespread this issue is. Is it a problem that continues?
Ramadan is a religious month, and people who follow the Islam faith, the Muslims, generally fast for the whole month. Now, the problem happens when patients who have diabetes generally take their own decisions about what they're going to do and how they are going to do it. Because generally, patients who have diabetes who want to fast, they need to consult with their doctors to see whether it is safe for them to fast during the period of Ramadan, and if it is safe for them to fast, what exactly they need to be doing. You know, how the medication needs to be changed, how the diet, the exercise, and all the related aspects to diabetes need to be amended in order for the patients to be able to fast safely.
How much damage can be done to a diabetic individual when they fast?
When patients fast, there's a number of things that happen. Some may go into, because when you fast, you don't eat during the daylight period, and these patients then can end up having low glucose levels, low sugar levels in their body, which is harmful to them. And in other instances, actually, they even have high sugar levels, because when you break fast, when you start eating, during after the end of the day, they start binge eating, which also then pushes them to the other extreme where they actually eat a lot, making them have high glucose levels or high sugar levels, again, which is not good for them. So it's important that they actually consult with the healthcare professionals to actually advise them whether it's safe for them to fast or whether and what exactly they need to be doing. There is a survey that has been done, that has been commissioned by Novo Nordisk, which says that about 50% of patients who have diabetes who fast during Ramadan say that they actually experience problems with during Ramadan about fasting, and it causes issues for them. But then in the same token, it is actually said that patients actually make their own decisions, despite the fact that they say they need assistance. They make their own decisions. 70% of patients don't go and seek medical help. So it's quite important that they say they don't understand, therefore they need guidance by healthcare professionals.
It is a little bit of a tricky subject, is it not? Because when it comes to religion and spiritual matters, science and medicine kind of often, people would assume, clash with the latter. So what about the placebo effect in all of this? Because I know Christians also fast, and they will say the fast is a spiritual journey that will heal them even of their physical ailments. And sometimes perhaps the placebo effect comes into play, and then your mind over matter, and then you feel better after the fast, perhaps as a spiritual outcome or because of, like I mentioned, the mental process. How do you manage to weave your way through these difficult terrains?
It's important, though, that they do seek medical help, so that whatever decision they ultimately make, it is well informed. So if they feel that they still need to go through fasting, that is still acceptable. There are safe ways to fast. It doesn't mean that you don't fast at all, but there are safe ways, and there are things that precautions that they need to take. There's specific dietary solutions for them, and specific advice on how to exercise, when to exercise, and things like that.
Have you been in touch with your stakeholders, perhaps religious leaders, etc., to explain this to them, that they perhaps could also encourage those who are participating in the fast to take place? Because, do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe pregnant women, those who are experiencing their menstrual cycle, those who are breastfeeding, are urged not to fast. Yes. But can diabetes, or those who are diabetic, can that be included as a criteria for those not to fast? Are you involved with engagements with those leaders to say to them, can we add this as a criteria for those who should not fast or fast differently?
We have been engaging with healthcare professionals, and some of them are not aware there's specific guidance on which patients can fast or which should not be fasting during Ramadan. So there are specific populations that are regarded as high-risk populations. You've mentioned pregnancy. There are those with type 1 diabetes. There are those who have frequent episodes where blood sugar levels go very low. And there are those, again, who have uncontrolled diabetes where the sugar levels are very high. So there are specific populations which are for whom it is advised that they actually should not be fasting. But then, again, as long as the patient makes the decision that is well informed, with their healthcare professional, then it shouldn't be a problem. There are safe ways to actually go through the fast.
We're going to have to leave it there, at least for now. Thank you ever so much for having joined us and for that informative discussion. Dr. Lindiwe Pemba is the head of medical from Novo Nordisk. Thank you once again for joining us. You stay with us. A quick ad break. We'll be back with more in just a moment.